Hey studs, are you tired of hitting that frustrating build limit in Lego Fortnite? You've got grand architectural dreams, but the game keeps telling you nope. What if I told you that the perceived limit is just a perception? Get ready to shatter those boundaries and finally build the epic structures you've always imagined. Everyone says there's a hard build limit in Lego Fortnite, right? That you can only go up so high, build so wide, before the game just shuts down. Well, today we're not just challenging that idea, we're completely blowing it out of the water. Prepare to see how truly massive your builds can be when you know the secrets. I will answer the three most asked questions. Is there a piece count? What is complexity? When do we reach the build limit? First, is there a piece count? The answer is no. There is no set number of pieces that can be placed in one area. To best understand this, we have to go into UEFN or creative. For this purpose, we will go into creative, as it is a simple explanation. As you can see, I am in my minigame, a simple can you escape map with puzzles. The island is small, but very dense. On the top of the screen, you'll see my memory usage, and it varies as I move across the map. That is because of data layers. Basically, this means that the game accesses memory dynamically. In my inventory, I have 2 walls and 2 floors. Wall 2 says it takes 77 memory, while wall 1 takes 3 memory. But why is that? We can clearly see that wall 1 is more detailed. Should it not use more memory? Let's look at my island again, and you can clearly see that I've already used wall 1. So any additional wall 1 that I place now uses less memory, because all it does is it tells the game to reference wall 1 for decoding the file, instead of placing the whole file over again. Let's look at wall 2 again. It says it requires 77 memory. Let's place it. Now you can see the next time I use wall 2, it only needs 3 memory. Basically, anytime you introduce a new piece, the first time you use it in that area, it will use the most memory. If I were to only use wall 1, I could reach 1,000 pieces before I max the memory. But if I use a different wall each time, it might only be 100 pieces to reach the memory cap. So piece count does not exist, but rather it is a memory cap. This applies to Lego Odyssey, but because we do not see the memory of each piece, I made my example in creative to demonstrate. Second, what is complexity? Complexity in Lego Odyssey means that in the current area, too many pieces have been placed and the game forbids you from placing any more pieces in that area. This just means you hit a memory cap for that place. There are 2 warnings the game gives you, low memory and too many constructs nearby. The official explanation in Lego was vague, but from what I understood is this. If you see the low memory warning during gameplay, it means you're reaching the building cap for your world. Though I've never seen anyone hit that, so I'm not too sure what it means. But like I said, Lego Fortnite's post was vague about it. The too many constructs nearby error tells you that builds in that local area are becoming too complex and you must build somewhere else or scale down the project. Again, complexity is reaching the memory cap. The game has 2 memory locations, island memory and project size. Island memory is all the trees, bushes, and other random stuff that you see. Now when we see ruined locations, I am not 100% certain if those are part of the island memory or not. I want to say yes, because it is generated with the island on creation. And project size is everything you introduce into the game. On a side note, Lego Odyssey has world partition. World partition puts your game into a grid, so memory is saved in certain locations called memory cells, and loaded when you get near them. That means if you're not near that location, the game will not load it. Everything is saved, but only accessed when you are near it. This does not mean that each build project can only be placed in grids, because remember, project memory is based on the location of where you are building. So if you were to build a project in the middle of 4 grid squares, This does not mean you have access to 400,000 memory. You will always be capped at the 100,000 memory for the hotspot, not the grid. Because what world partition does is load memory when you are near it. It is a distance-based level streaming system that provides a complete solution for large world management. That's a mouthful, I know. But this is the solution for the being locked out of worlds and long loading times. Basically, instead of loading the whole world, it loads what is nearby for easier access. Last, when do we reach the bill limit? Well, there is no indicator like in UEFN or Creative to tell us, and since the game files are kept secret, we may never know how things are stored. Because there's many things that vary like data laters. Load when certain criteria is met, or HLODs. Ever notice why supply drops drop in the same place? That's because they are predetermined, so the file is already there, but the memory is only accessed when it needs to be. It's possible to be in the middle of a project, and a supply drop spawn can cause memory to be capped. But when you leave and re-enter the world, it can reset it since the memory is no longer there. And each build piece and prop has its own memory, which we do not know how much each has. Epic Games even keeps memory a secret. What does the 100,000 mean? Gigabytes? Kilobytes? We do not know. We just call it memory. Bill limit is complicated, and I hope I was able to clear some of the things up. If not, I apologize for making it more complicated than it should be. I still do not have a full understanding of it, but I am sharing what I know and how I am avoiding complexity. Thank you for watching, and as always, remember to smile.